Rise and shine. Happy Saturday, everyone. Buenos dias. So I'm back with another interesting topic discussion on adult nursing relationships and adult breastfeeding that came across my desk recently this past week. And I'm like, oh yes, sure, I'll talk about that. Now, as you guys know, being part of the kink community, I have been exposed to a lot of different fetishes, different kinks, different alternative lifestyles, and much of which doesn't really surprise me. But this one here, I've found to be quite fascinating, and so I am going to go have at it, you guys, and I welcome your feedback. I am going to eat this luscious mango here. Like I said, my videos are informal, so they're unedited, you know, unscripted, just raw, just like this fruit here, raw like I like my sex. Speaking of which, I have been abstinent, you guys, for a while, going on a year. And it feels great. Actually, it's going on 6 months, but round it off to a year. I like the way the peel just falls off the mango. Like, it doesn't take much prying, just slowly falls off because it's very ripe and juicy. I got a spontaneous email from this person who had been emailing me prior over the past several months, asking me if I would do a consultation with him. And I've said over and over again, like, I'm not doing any consultations. But if I was to consider doing consultations, it would not be for free. Granted, these videos can be considered consultations, right? But they're not one-on-one. They're more public, you know, like you guys provide video topic ideas and I present to you guys publicly about the topic, the issue at hand. But it's a kind of consultation, I guess. But it's free. And so this guy who had been messaging me for some months now, like, asked me if I would provide a consultation, and he's wanting me to do it for free. And I'm just like, why would I give you an hour of my time for free? As if I have an hour of my time just to give away. I take offense to that, and it's like an insult. Like, seriously? Like, I'm just sitting around twiddling my fingers, just all this time on my hand. And even if I am doing that, that's part of my self-care. That's part of the way I relax. Like, that's my me time. Like, what? As busy as a person as I am, no one should have the confidence or courage to ask me to give them a free consultation. Like, seriously? He didn't even want me to do a video. I'm like, listen, like, you are ungrateful. If you have an issue, I could talk about it with other people because other people can benefit from it. Right? And my videos are monetized on YouTube, so of course I benefit from it at the same time. So I'm like, you don't want to do that? He was like, oh, can we just talk back and forth? He asked me, was I available by phone? No. No. I don't think people get it. I just don't think people actually get it. I just defended my dissertation, by the way. Successfully defended my dissertation, by the way, this week. I'm preparing my manuscript for publication. I am finishing my pre-doc internship hours. I do psych evaluations on children, adults with autism and disabilities. And listen, my hands are tied. I do psychotherapy. I have a whole caseload. I just saw 8 clients yesterday, you guys. 8 in one day. So for people to think that I just have time on my hands just to be giving away, and he's like trying to make it seem like, oh, it's urgent. Like, oh my gosh, I just really need your help. No, you don't need my help. You need help. And what you need to do is look for a therapist or a psychologist in your local area that you can go see, okay? And discuss this issue with. Because I ain't her. I'm not. I don't mind doing pro bono things. Don't get me wrong. Because the video topics that I came to talk to you guys about recently regarding like cocoa, as it relates to someone's like personal experience, and you know, that was inspired by an email that I received, and I didn't get payment for that necessarily, but I was interested in addressing that publicly, right? So I offered that service to him, service in terms of my perspective on his issue. Whether he agrees with it or not, he doesn't have to agree. You ask for my perspective, I'm going to give you my perspective. It doesn't matter if I don't care if you agree with me. I'm not looking for your approval. I'm just not. You asked for my perspective and you got it. I am about to dig into this topic, you guys. I also find it interesting how people like to tell me how to do my videos. As if I'm going to listen. I'm not. I do my videos how I do my videos. If you don't like it, then yo, we live in an information digital age. There's so much content out there. If I come across a video that I don't like, that's not really grasping my attention, like, I just go to the next one. I don't go out my way to make a comment to say, hi, by the way, I don't like that you're eating on camera, or I don't like that you said this, I don't like that, you should do it this way. Like, who does that? People who don't have control over their own lives. Like, go and find some shit to do, right? Get a handle on your own life. Don't try to tell me what to do with my videos. I've been making videos for a while, a long time now. And if you notice, they haven't really changed. They're raw, they're uncut. I eat sometimes I don't. Sometimes the videos are long, sometimes they're short. Someone commented and said, oh, you know your videos would get more views if you shortened them to less than 10 minutes. No. There's no rhyme or reason to getting more views necessarily. I think it's just about the topic. I have videos that have gone viral, and we're talking about they're over an hour long. Almost 2 hours sometimes. It's just like, I have videos that have gone viral and they're like a minute long. So, no, it doesn't matter. If it's content that people are interested in, people will watch it. Point blank, period. If not, then not. The important thing, though, is that I make my videos first for me. Believe it or not, after every video that I make, I go back and watch every single video for my own entertainment. I'm entertained by myself. You know what I'm saying? You're dealing with a person who loves herself. Like, I like being alone more than I like being around other people. Though I can be around other people, but I like my own presence. So I'm entertained by my own videos. When I say every single video that I make, I go back and watch, literally. I mean, for quality assurance, of course, but just for my own entertainment, too. Doesn't matter if one person says, oh, I don't like it. Apparently, your opinion doesn't matter because so many other people do. Messy, messy. Y'all, it is raining in New York City. It started yesterday evening, and it's continuing to rain through today and tomorrow. It's very relaxing. I just got back in from doing a little bit of shopping at the market. Baby. All right, let me go and put this away. I should have had a towel handy, but I don't. But I will be right back, you guys. Okay? Just like a morning. Was beyond there, 'cause so was I. Now I dreamed of you ever since. Now I built up my confidence. Goodness, next time you come my way, I know just what. Oh, that was good. Something to hold me until I cook breakfast after this video. Now this is the fun part. Sometimes I can be a big kid, you guys. All right. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Adult nursing relationships. Now, this is something that is not new to me, but I've never necessarily practiced this fetish. This came by request from one of my viewers who asked me to talk about it, who provided a suggestion. I always welcome you guys to provide video topic suggestions. Like, feel free to email me. That's how you can reach me, via email. If you don't know my email, it's not that hard to find. Just look for it. So, I find it to be interesting how some people, when they are introduced to something new, especially as it relates to something that's kinky, right? They're like, ew, that's disgusting. And we know that people usually frown upon or look at things with disgust that they aren't familiar with or that they don't quite understand. So this video hopefully will allow you guys to gain more insight as I begin to uncover some of the reasons why people are drawn to adult nursing relationship, or AKA adult breastfeeding. I get it, personally. I get it 100%. Like, there's no explanation needed, right? But I want to break it down a bit because there are many different aspects to this type of fetish. And I think initially people may tend to believe that it's more about a regressed mind state. That people want to participate in this activity, this foreign activity, this weird activity, because they are regressed adults. And with regression, usually regression happens when there is an increased state of anxiety. And we tend to kind of retreat back to a more younger developmental stage that makes us feel comfortable, makes us feel safe. So people like to look at this type of fetish, the suckling of a woman's breast, especially when she's lactating, as a more regressed state. That's one explanation, but I don't really want to spend too much time talking about that perspective necessarily. And I get it. I get it why people may think that. Just the same as any other BDSM kink as it relates to a person taking on a different developmental expression, where you have female submissives like to associate or identify themselves as baby girls, myself included. I'm not going to talk too much about that. So people ask the question, why? Why do men and women want to enact breastfeeding in their relationship? Why do they want to practice that? And my simple, quick answer is the same reason why people like to have sex. The same reason why people like to get their ass sucked out. It feels good, right? It's like a means to an end. If the end goal, right, is to feel desire, to feel pleasure, people will find whatever means to get there. Especially if it's not harming another person. This is something that is practiced between mutually consenting adults here. It's not harming nobody else to get your ass ate out. When we're talking about mutually consenting people who are participating in this, it's not harming anyone to have sex or to masturbate, right? It's not harming anyone. If a man wants to supple the breast or suck the breast of his partner to the point of lactation or while she's lactating, it's not harming anyone. It's bringing both of them pleasure. That's a quick and easy answer. Going back to the whole idea of regression, I know I said I didn't want to really talk about it too much, but sometimes people like to conceptualize adult activities as if it's like a more regressed state or a more younger developmental state that adults have retreated to, have gone back to, right? And I'm thinking about, okay, so how do you describe when men and women do this? When they're cuddling, when they're creating a sense of intimacy and closeness with each other. Men lie on the chest or shoulder of their female partner, and women do the same. Why do men and women lie on their chest of their partner? What is it about the chest that naturally compels a person to position their ear against another person's chest? Because the chest is where the heartbeat is, right? So it makes sense. They want to be closer to that vibration. The pulse. It symbolizes something much deeper. Does it mean that they're acting like a baby? No. It's for the purpose of building intimacy. Someone says, my daughter is about to go to nursing school in Ghana. I am a proud father. This has nothing to do about nursing school. But if you want to somehow create a loosely connected connection to it or a relationship to it, then go ahead. But congratulations, I guess, on your daughter. But I get it. To build intimacy, they want to become closer. And while people are judging, while people are criticizing, misinterpreting this lifestyle or activity or this behavior, I commend people. Like, I think it's very fascinating that people can find ways to stimulate themselves without the use of medication, right? Without some external foreign object being brought into the picture, where they can just use each other natural resources, right? They can use each other to create an experience where they feel a degree of intimacy, closeness, and satisfaction. That is fascinating, right? Why do people bring in toys in the bedroom? Why do women play with vibrators? It's about pleasure, satisfaction. Why do women stick rubber objects in their vagina? Why do women stimulate their clitoris with the foreign object? It yields pleasure. It makes sense. So for people asking why this activity, if anything, they should be wanting to be curious. Ask why in a sense of curiosity. Wanting to understand as opposed to wanting to judge, because it makes perfect sense to me. It's genius, actually, if you ask me about it. Like, it's genius. You found a way to stimulate hormones throughout your body that will result in pleasure. People, there's a pill for everything, right? People go and seek medical help, right? They get medical attention because they feel anxious or they feel depressed or things aren't going well in their life, right? There's nothing wrong with seeking medical attention, right? But oftentimes it leads to medication, right? And they go and they get a prescription. Pop a pill, makes them feel better. Like, I like the idea of exploring natural remedies, natural options for achieving a desired effect. If that desired effect is to relieve anxiety, there are natural ways to relieve anxiety. And in fact, adult breastfeeding is one of them. The process of suckling a woman's breast, I think this is just, I feel like this topic is, it needs more attention. I feel like it doesn't get enough attention and enough discussion around it. And I think that the act, actually, of a man sucking a woman's breast, like, that's like a outdated, forgotten activity, like sexual activity. It's just forgotten. People, like, do men do that anymore? Like, oftentimes it really irks my nerve when men, they're such in a rush. First of all, they don't know a woman's body. They don't know the mechanisms of a woman's body. How to touch a woman, how to caress her. They don't have no clue how a woman's body functions, let alone their own body, right? And they just rush into the sex. They get an erect penis and just jump right on in there and want to start fucking, right? Some men, they make an attempt, they may try, they may fondle a woman's breast, but they don't even know how to fondle the breast. And don't even understand, why are you fondling, right? What does the purpose of fondling a woman's breast do? What does that do on a neurobiopsychological level? Because everything has a neurobiopsychological component to it. If you understand neuroscience, biology, and psychology, then you can really understand sex. and appreciate sex and have great sex, right? And sex isn't just about penetration. Sex is all the activities involved as it relates to the stimulation of one's arousal, of one's the pinnacle, the orgasm of sex, right? Some people like to look at the orgasm as a pinnacle of the sexual activity. Maybe it could be the arousal for some people. That can be the pinnacle, and the ejaculation or the orgasm could just be the icing on the cake. But to just understand those underlining components of how our body functions, I think, how our body and our mind function together, it makes it much better. Then you can know how to stimulate your partner. You can know what to do with your hands, with your tongue. I think sometimes, obviously people, we experiment. And you just have men just doing things. They don't know what the fuck they're doing. And there's no question why I'm abstinent. I've been abstinent, like I said, for going on half a year. And it's just like, first of all, I'm not embarrassed to say that. But I don't feel bad about it. Because I would rather be abstinent than to engage myself with a person who don't know what the fuck he doing, right? Who don't know what the hell he doing. A lot of men just don't know. They don't know how to stimulate a woman. They think they know. They do trial and error, but they just don't know. Grabbing a woman's breast too hard. They don't really spend enough time in the erogenous zones. They just have no clue. Personally, as a woman who has breasts, I can speak for myself to say that, yes, there's something about when a man sucks on the nipple. It does bring satisfaction. Like I said, that's like a lost art. Many men just, they skip that part. They want to kiss. There's nothing wrong with kissing if a person has good oral hygiene. I think the problem with kissing, especially for me, because, I like kissing, but a guy has to have good oral hygiene. A lot of people just don't have good oral hygiene. They don't. I don't want to kiss you if you don't have good oral hygiene. I don't even like receiving oral sex. I think it's a tease. It's just, it doesn't really do much for me. And then also, I'm more inhibited in that area because guys just don't have good oral hygiene. Like, I know if I look at your mouth and like, ew, you don't take good care of your teeth, your mouth. It's just like, no. I have no purpose in dealing with you, really. Just like, no. What can we do? We can talk, we can have deep-seated conversations, but that's going to be the extent of our involvement, right? Yeah. So I'm just a different person. I don't know if other women think the same way when it comes to receiving oral sex, but I'm very particular. I think about things like that. It's just like, I don't want your mouth down there. If you haven't been to the dentist in a very long time, you don't take care of yourself, like, But yeah, that's, I think, a lot of men's go to. Like, oh, let me give her some oral sex. Let me pleasure her. And that would pleasure her. And they're not really doing they're not really pleasuring, right? In their mind, though, they're pleasuring. But yeah, they forget to suck the breast. It's just like, how can you miss that? Because it does have neurobiopsychological effects when a man sucks a woman's nipples. Hormones are released, oxytocin. And oxytocin has been said to reduce fear and anxiety, to deactivate the amygdala, right? To make her feel relaxed. It's just like, it seems like it's very intuitive, like a no-brainer, but some people just, they skip over that point. The amygdala, by the way, is the mechanism that's responsible for the fight or flight response, right? When there's perceived danger. that has come in our way, that is activated. So when oxytocin is released, it counterbalances the activation of the amygdala. That's a neurobiological aspect here that is at play. So when, as a man is sucking those breasts, we have oxytocin being released. We have prolactin being released that helps to relax her, to lessen the anxiety, to reduce stress, to lessen those defenses, right? Essentially. That's what's happening. Those defenses, when you see her body's just becoming light, her muscles relieving the tension, just releasing it, letting go. Meditation does that too, by the way, so you don't really have to put hands on necessarily. You can use words to relax a person physically, mentally, emotionally. I do that with my clients. I have a client that just likes to do that every time we meet. The progressive muscle relaxation, mindful meditation. I do that. But you can do that with words and your imagination. I think that's very powerful, to be able to help a person relax without even touching their body. It's amazing. But I just think that, yes. So removing the lactation aspect of it, right? Just thinking about the sucking of the breast, it does carry with it benefits, right? But thinking about the lactation, now we're talking about the lactation, the milk that comes out. Yes, we know that there are benefits to a woman's breast milk when it's ingested right into a person's body. There's so many nutrients in it. It carries, like, what's in that milk is the same thing that helps defend against viruses, right? Her whole immunity is in that milk. And just knowing that there are nutrients that a person is ingesting as they are sucking a woman's breast, as she's lactating. But I think from what I've seen, people do it for many reasons, especially, older couples. Sometimes the lactation actually is induced. So she may not have just given birth to a child. Breasts were not producing any milk prior. And it can be induced. I would imagine that's pretty painful to induce lactation. For you guys watching this, if you've ever had any experience with that, feel free to comment below. But I can just only imagine the pain and how long it would take for that process to happen, to basically make milk come out, right, that is not naturally being produced. But it happens. I've seen where women take to this activity because it makes them feel more feminine, especially if they haven't born children. They haven't given birth to children. Having a man suck on their breasts while they're producing milk, it makes them feel motherly in that aspect. So we know that obviously when a mother is feeding her baby child, she is bonding with that child. Same happens if she does it with an adult, with her male partner. It's no different. I think sometimes people like to make things to be stigmatized or taboo when it really doesn't necessitate that. And I think some people may be thinking, oh, but what if she did just give birth to a child and she's lactating and that milk should be used for the child? A lot of y'all probably thinking that don't even breastfeed. Didn't even breastfeed your own children, but you're going to try to impose that belief system on a adult woman and man who want to practice breastfeeding, adult breastfeeding. You didn't even breastfeed your own freaking children. You went to the store and you got store-bought milk. So it doesn't hurt anyone for adults to engage in this lifestyle. I think it's fascinating. Now, would I do it? While I love getting my breast sucked, I don't think I would do, I don't think I would induce lactation. I probably would participate in adult breastfeeding when and if I have children and I'm lactating. And I mean, it's going to happen where there's going to be milk seeping from the breast, right? And it's been said to happen during sex. Just seeps through the breast, especially if a man is like sucking and she's breastfeeding her child too, you know, in that whole process, not at the same time that she's having sex necessarily, but that could happen. I wouldn't recommend it. But, you know, she, you know, just gave birth to a child. She's been breastfeeding her child, and then she has sex with her male partner, her husband. Yeah, the breast milk may flow. And so what do you do with it? You just let it drip? Or you make use of it. Make use of it, right? Don't let it go to waste. Makes sense, you know, if it's dripping while she's getting fucked by her freaking partner, like, why can't he enjoy the fruits of the labor? So with that being said, I'm going to end this video here. I'm curious to hear what you guys think based on what I've shared so far in this video. We can make this a series if you guys are interested in me discussing more and talking more about it. I'm all in, because you guys know, like, I don't think you guys really understand. I think you guys know, like, yes, I am interested in the alternative lifestyle, BDSM, kink, but I don't think you guys really know. And I think sometimes I may present a little bit filtered, you know, because this is social media. That's why I've always said, like, it will be great to be able to have a private space, a place where we can meet, like, in public, like, in person, I meant to say, not, like, publicly. But it could be publicly, I guess. Could have a public, let's say, a town hall meeting, right? Talking about alternative lifestyles with people who respect it. Not with people who want to be vanilla and just like, oh my gosh, ew, those people are so nah. You're not invited, right? But it would be nice to be able to convene in person and to discuss these issues. And I think that with that, you know, especially around people who get it. It's easier to have that discussion, right? Versus me doing it, I think, here just on the platform. Anybody gonna see this, and I oftentimes find myself having to block comments. I mean, honestly, I don't like blocking people, right, for making stupid, freaking disrespectful comments, but it happens. Because I feel like I don't want to waste your time, right? And some people don't have the restraint for themselves to just remove themselves from a place that is not for them. So you got to do it for them. I have to do that for them. Like, y'all put that responsibility on content creators to make that decision for you, to remove yourself from a place that is not for you, when you should do that. If you don't like a video topic, if it's not for you, don't watch it. Instead, like, you watch it. And then you comment saying, oh, this is disgusting. No. You're just silly for being in a space that you don't quite understand. With that being said, I will catch you guys later. I'm about to make breakfast. Drop your comments below. And if you are currently immersed in this lifestyle, share. If you feel free to share your experience. See you guys later.